Oh, guys, listen, we have an amazing conversation coming up. This is only going to be the beginning because the weight of this conversation is already, it looks like I'm even, how should I say this? I'm even down because we don't even have enough time for this conversation. So this definitely is going to be a first of many, many episodes to come because I'm literally I've spent almost a whole week with my brother. And we've just met a week now, and it looks like we've known each other for a long time. So I don't want to butcher anybody's name. I made an attempt to mention his name several times, and every time I did, I messed up. But he's a great teacher. He is a very powerful spiritual man. He's also have an amazing vision, which okay, so now I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you agree to the family that we are in business?
Definitely.
Okay, so now we're going to be in business too. We're going to do amazing works together. And guys, meet another teacher of the community, another family of the community. He's new, but he's definitely welcome. I know I have to make a conversation to Doc and Huno and who else and all of you guys. But unofficially, officially, I'm dragging my brother into the community, and you're going to see a lot of him. We're going to have a conversation, and I have no idea where we're going to start from. But I think everything, we're going to start from the beginning, according to the Bible. You know, you guys, you know where I stand with the Bible, and you know what my opinion about the Bible. But he's a professor, he's a teacher, he's a great, great, great teacher. And he's going to dissect the Bible for those who are stuck in the church and are seeing the Bible to be the holiest of thou books, and anything you cannot touch or you cannot even reason for yourself when you open up the Bible. But I'm not going to say much because time is fast spent. Brother, welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
You want to
Thank
tell
you,
them your
brother.
name? I mean, I don't want to butcher your name.
Okay. Well, my name is Nufialaga Maupomo Kobla Nonyibe.
I told you guys, tell me how on earth are you going to be able to say this name? So what I do is Nufia. My other brother, Nufia, that's what I do. But you heard his name. Try it. Nomhi, try it. Nomhi, try saying this name. And she will butcher your name, trust me, because she still can't say my name.
Wow.
Yes. So welcome. This is Onyamekese Chrome. We are brothers and sisters scattered all over the place. We are building something that everybody says is impossible for people coming from different backgrounds. Though we are one people, different trainings, different backgrounds, different programmings coming together to actually form one community to become self-sustaining and free from all these tricks that we find ourselves in, politics and all of the other tricks that we find ourselves in. So there's a big family. You're going to meet the whole family soon. But I've heard you speak. I think we actually have a short video. You guys should see that by now. We had a short video when we visited the Cleve. When we visited the ritual, the offering of the Black Bull to the Sacred Grove to Tobo Charlie and all of that. So you've seen that conversation we had there, right? So he's not strange, he's not new, but this is the official sitting between me and him. And we're going to do amazing works together, but where should we start from?
Well, as you rightly
Get ready
said,
to be blown, by the way. Okay.
as you rightly said, everything they need to have a beginning.
Yeah.
So we start from the beginning. Our tradition, our spirituality. Most of the time, our brothers in the Christendom who are using the Bible perceive those who are into spirituality and our tradition as, let me put it this way, idol worshippers or pagans, all kind of names. But what most of them don't know is that the Bible, especially the Old Testament, was written by our ancestors, our black ancestors.
Wait, when you say the Bible, which is literally the Tanakh, Genesis to Malachi, was written by our fathers, what do you mean exactly? Are you saying that the Bible is true and everything in it is true and it's affirmed by your knowledge and wide research that what we have in the Bible is actually true? Or what you're saying is that our fathers had a certain account and it's been misconstrued to become something else?
Exactly. That is where I was heading
Okay.
towards.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
What our ancestors wrote down were picked by other civilizations that came after what our ancestors left. And they translated those things into their own languages. For instance, let me give an example.
Definitely.
I'm an Ewe, and I've seen a book written in a Fanti language. And I realized that no, the book is good. There's some content in it that is very good, or the content of the book is good. And I would like my people, the Ewes, to also have access to it. So I have to translate what it is written in Fanti into the Ewe language, okay, for my people to understand. Now, in doing so, I have to fuse in the tradition, the spirituality, and the mythology of our people, my people, into the translation for them to understand. The same thing that is what exactly happened to the Afa, what I describe as the Afa scriptures, or the AKA the Old Testament. Now, the Old Testament, in the Ever tradition, we call it, or they call it, Nublabla Hoho, which means the Old Covenant. Covenant means, or in Ever covenant is Nublabla. So, in period in time, the Almighty Yahweh renews his covenant with his people. That is his chosen priesthood nation. There are several nations in the Asian past. We have different type of nations all over the world. Okay, but the Almighty have his own priesthood nation that take care of what, or who are the keepers of the covenant. So this, our holy writings, went through several translations. Let's say from the Assyrian language, okay, then to the Babylonian language. From there we have the Persian kingdom or empire that took over the world. Then the Greeks. The Greeks started messing up the whole thing.
So all of this is after ancient Mesopotamia?
Exactly.
Okay.
They started messing up all these things. Then we say the Greco-Romans. And the worst people to mistranslate what the Greeks have done is the English translators, especially the Queen James Version.
Wait, king or queen?
Queen.
Not King James.
Version. I will explain as we go on.
I don't want to interrupt. Okay.
So you see, the original, because of that, the original understanding of what our ancestors wrote down during divination, Afa divination, went through several translations. So the meaning and the understanding is lost. Now, someone will say, why is he bringing Afa into the scripture?
No, I'm trying not to interrupt, but you're bringing us so many questions already.
So I'm going to explain. When you read the Old Testament and you come by the name Urim and Thummim, Thummim represent the Afa, the one that has thread and something like a seed in it. That is the Thummim.
Can we get a picture to overplay it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the pictures. I'll give it to you. That is the Thummim. And the Urim is what we call in the Ever language as what? the Huchi. Huchi, that is the cowries.
Oh, so wait. Every time the Old Testament prophets and Moses and Aaron had to do and they call for these things, these were actually those things they called
That
for?
is what
For divination?
Yes. They call on the priest who does the divination.
So
to bring
wait. So every time the scriptures was constantly seeking for divination to inquire what to do.
Exactly. That
But
is
yet
why
the
they
same
said,
Bible said divination is wrong.
we'll get to that.
Okay.
So when you
It's
read in the
getting heated up.
Bible and you come across to inquire of the Lord,
To seek divination.
is divination. In other places, like I think First Kings chapter 8, verse 8, that one they use consort. The consort was used in that aspect. So in the Bible, when you read and you come across Urim and the Thummim, is what we call in the Everpilo language as the Afa. And the Urim is what they call as what? Huchi. We call as Huchi. Now, per the modern Hebrew definition of the Urim and the Thummim, they said it is used by the ancient high priest in ancient Hebrew or Israel to find the will of God. So we all know that Afa is the mouthpiece of the Creator. When you want to,
When you say we all know, who is we?
the chosen priesthood nation of the Most High Yahweh.
So many questions coming up. Okay.
Million. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So now, that is how our ancient Afa scriptures. You see, when you do divination, whatever we call it boli, whatever comes or what falls when they throw the rope, what falls down, our ancestors till date, they write it down. There's a story behind it. They write all those things. Then you ask questions, whatever falls, they write it down. So all these things that they wrote down is what have been put together today for us as what? The Old Testament. But the truth is, a lot of insertions, fabricated holy lies have been inserted into the current translations that we have today.
So wait, is it the reason why when you read the Bible it says that everything was inspired by the Spirit? Literally what you're saying is that every time they went to seek divination and the results came, they wrote down these
Everything,
results.
they wrote down the result for the sake of the records. Everything is written down.
So it is the record keeping that has become a Bible for people.
Exactly.
But when you say that, that is wrong, because the records that they were keeping was for specific situations,
Exactly.
and not for an entire nation to obey. No. I'm not saying it. He's the one saying it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not for everyone or for everyone. For instance, Saul. When you read the story of Saul concerning the sacrifices that he did instead of Samuel, the high priest, was supposed to do, and according to the story, the Almighty stopped to communicate with him, either by the Urim or by the dream. That is according to the European translation. And they said he went to a medium to call the spirit of Samuel. By then, Samuel was dead and buried way back. Now, they say they want to a woman with a medium. You see, when a history or when a spirituality is not yours and you're trying to translate it, you sometimes use your own understanding,
interpretation to it.
And that is what happened. What Saul did was not different from what Yesu, Cliso did, the man they refer today as Yesu. These personalities are different from that. So Saul went to a medium woman. We call them in the Everpilo language as what? Amagashi. People who call the spirit of a living being or the dead spirit, or who can consult.
So it's
those
not
spirits.
only calling the dead, but
No,
also
but they
calling the
call the
living.
living. They can call the spirit of anything.
So just background. So the spirit here is what the Evers call ese, and we the Akans call the kra.
Kra.
And that's what most of you guys in the community know as kra.
And you see the kra, we also have it in Ewe.
Does it
Kla.
mean the same thing?
Means the same thing.
Kla. Oh, kla.
So you see, it's
Kra.
the same. But our brothers or cousins, they say, in your language, you say what?
Kra.
Kra. But we say, ipa kra. It's the same meaning and the same understanding. Are you getting my point?
So
now?
basically the kra is universal. It's not, okay.
So now let's continue. So the women that, for instance, let me give our viewers example. For instance, let me use you. Let's assume you are not feeling well. And
Assumption.
And
I'm not feeling
God
well.
Forbid. Okay. God forbid.
Yes.
Or myself.
Yes.
I'm
No,
not
let's go.
feeling
Let's go.
well.
Okay.
And probably you've attended or they've taken you to all the major hospitals in the world. But yet still you're not getting the right solution that you want. What we do here is you can go to the Amagashi, your family people, because the family people are the people who are supposed to do that for you. Strangers cannot do it for you. They can go to the Amagashi and they will go and call your kra. Your kra will tell them what is wrong with your physical being. So then you...
Wait. This is literally diagnosis.
Wow.
Going to the laboratory for them, diagnostic center, to actually search about what is going on with you. So
Exactly.
basically, all the MRI machineries and scan machineries are all coming from the signs of our fathers.
Exactly.
But because they couldn't do these things, so they manufactured machines that could tell, which always don't come with accuracy, by the way.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is that my kra can literally say everything that is wrong with me physically.
Physically.
And give remedies.
And when that remedies are applied perfectly, trust me, whatever the sickness is, you'll be cured. I am a living testimony to that. And I've seen a lot of people going through who have come with terrible sicknesses. And we've used the same processes for them. And they are okay. I know a woman who got married for years and she couldn't give birth. And the husband was so rich that they've traveled all over the world trying to get a child or a baby. Couldn't succeed. So finally someone recommended them to me. And I said, okay, this is what we have to do. So eventually we went through the process. And the Nekra told her that the Kra wanted to come and stay with her physically. So you need to shape the Kra like in the form of a queen. Let me say she's a reincarnated queen. And there are certain things that needs to be done. Was not done for her. But immediately that thing was done. Now, that woman is having 2 sons. It was not a medical problem. It was a spiritual problem. You see, there are 2 types of sickness. The first one is the spiritual sickness. When it comes and you understand spirituality, you only consult and you get the remedy. But when you become so religious and emotional, you move to places that cannot give you a solution. Then at the end of the day, the physical being start to suffer. That is what we see. The manifestation is what we see physically. When you see people getting, it didn't just get up and started with the physical body. It started spiritually before before the manifestation have to come on the body. That is on the Amagashi. So consulting, it is not only about the living, but you can consult even the elemental beings from them to ask them. You can consult the deities. When a deity wants to speak, they cannot speak. You have to go to the Afa, that is the Urimin and the Tumin, and listen to what they have to say to you. So that would take us to Basa. Basa is what I describe as what? The spoken word. When you go to the book of Genesis, God said, let there be light, and there was light. There was no engineering, science, and anything. It was the power of the word, the spoken word.
Power of the tongue.
Yes. So in the Ever-Pilot language, we say B, Sa. That is the spoken word. It has the power to transform any situation. For instance, if you have the keys to that Basa you want, you can ask, you can command it, and this river can go back.
If you have the key.
If you have the key. If I say you have the
So
key.
the key basically means if you know the right words to say.
You can command anything and it can transform.
So the reason why we are not able to come into manifestations fully and speak into things is because we don't know the words to say.
Exactly. That is the key. And we don't have it. So how do you do that? By knowing yourself spiritually. Now, sorry.
I mean, now we talk about the spoken word.
Yes.
Right? So the spoken word, according to the Bible story, he spoke everything in existence and everything came to be. Let's pretend we're going with that story. Where did all these things come from?
Well, that's a good question. Now, it's basically we are coming to, let me go a little bit into the creation story.
Okay.
What we have today in the Bible as the creation story was not exactly what took place.
The world was not created 6,000 years ago.
No. Even the history of the Caucasian race is less than 6,000 years old. You see, let's face fact. The creation story about man, God creating man, and later creating woman, God creating all this, the plants, both male and female, all that has been in existence. What was being described in Genesis was not exactly what took place there. People, there were thousands and millions of people on earth during the time of Adam.
Wait. Adam's supposed to be the first man.
No.
According to the Bible.
According to the Bible.
Adam was created first. Then I think some way, somehow, the God of the Bible had an emergency, so he didn't finish creating Adam. I mean, he couldn't complete the balance of Adam, in the sense that he only created Adam and forgot about Eve,
Yes.
and then went away, and Eve came up another story.
Afterthought, yeah.
So Adam is not the first?
No, Adam wasn't the first person. You see, according to the Ever-Pilot.
What is the Ever-Pilot? You keep saying the Ever-Pilot.
Pilot means something very ancient. So like an ancient language, or I can confidently say the first language of creation.
You're messing with me. Wait. No. The first language?
Yes. Out of it came many other languages. You see, for instance, we did talk about Ukra. And I gave you the Ever Pilo version, the Ever version. And the same thing, the same meaning. You understand? All this creation story that we are told about by the European Bible translators or scholars, in fact, has nothing to do with the original creation story. Now, let's touch on one or two things to establish whether what have been packaged for us is the real truth. When you read the Bible, they say after the creation of Adam and blah blah, they say God put Adam in a garden and he told him not to eat from the tree of good and evil. And there was one tree too, that is the tree of knowledge. No, the tree of life. Now, in our ancient language, we always used trees to represent people.
What do you mean when you say that you use trees to represent people? How does trees represent people? Because he created the tree, then later he created man.
That is a mistranslation there.
Okay.
There have been, the trees were there millions of years even before the Adam story was created for us. So now let's go into it.
Trees were created first?
The trees, everything was there. I'm trying to debunk that story that have been packaged to us with the impression that Adam and Eve were the first people or Adam to be created. Now, what that I'm trying to say that when you read the book of Psalms, let me start from there. He said what? And he shall be like a tree planted by the what? Rivers. Who is he?
Man.
Good.
Shall be like, so not necessarily a tree, but like a tree.
Like a tree. The trees in the garden, as we were being told, was a similar situation that happened during the time of Noah. Per the knowledge system of our ancestors, every 5,000 years, this universe or the earth renews or always renew itself. The elemental beings comes to take over. For instance, now you can see flooding everywhere globally, fire burning, all these things. But with the little knowledge about our spirituality, man is calling it a national or natural disaster. It is not natural disaster. The elemental beings of creation that the Almighty God created to protect and to guide the earth are reacting to the massive destruction of this world by man. So, in the book of Genesis, trees, you can see they will say there was a creation story, and there was another creation. God created a tree that is bearing fruit and all that. All that have been in existence. So, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil represent people. Why does it represent people? With the ancient knowledge system of our ancestors, we always, when something is about to end, our ancestors always use the trees to represent good and bad. So, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is one tree. One tree is good, and evil is one tree. The tree of knowledge is separate. These are people. Just like the way the story of Sodom and Gomorrah were told, when people have gone against the creation, are doing the opposite stuff. It's the same thing that took place there. So people who were honoring the Almighty were still intact. That is the tree of knowledge, or tree of life. And the tree of good and evil is one tree, but producing two fruits. When you put these things together, per the ever pilot language, it represents people.
Let me understand what you're saying. So what you're saying is that the tree produced two fruits, and if the tree should represent people, it means the tree bear two sons or two human beings, two offsprings coming from the tree. If you were using the tree for man,
Yes.
because it,
No, what I'm saying
okay,
is one tree, according to the Bible translation, produces two fruits.
yes,
Good, the knowledge of good and evil. But it's one tree.
yes,
In our minds, anything negative or positive incubates from the mind. That's why when people who have to do good, the incubation starts from here. And if you want to do evil, it starts from here. Whatever you put in motion, put in your mind, is what you have it, or is that the fruit you're going to have. So it is about the mind. The tree, that is the one tree producing two fruits. One looks like good and one looks like evil. Example is this homosexual, this how do they call it?
okay, we can't really speak about that because they don't like me already. So speaking about things like that
So,
would totally get them to block me.
So it is tree. They are people.
So I'm just using that analysis that if the tree should represent, because in my language, in the Akan language, when we say a man is literally a tree. So we call it a nimpedia. So if I'm understanding what you're saying, it means that every human being is a tree.
It's a tree.
So we have two forms of trees.
Yes.
We have the mobile trees, which physically we see, and we have the not mobile trees. But I believe all trees move, and there's not a static tree anywhere. In the other dimensions, every tree has the ability to move.
Yes.
So what you're literally telling me is that the tree of good and evil, the knowledge of good and evil, basically, if it's that is representing a man or a form or a being, it means the fruit, because when you say the fruit of your womb, it's literally mean the children that comes out of your womb.
Exactly.
So the fruit on this tree are literally people that you go to them, and both individuals will give you what they know. I don't know if I'm making sense.
It's the same thing.
I'm just
It's the
messing
same
around
thing.
with it.
I think you've even explained it better in that sense. So as you say, nipedua.
Yes.
The same thing to when you come to the Gans, our brothers, the Gadangbe. Bomo chu. Bomo chu. Represent, that is man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, you are a tree. Represent bomo chu. So man is a tree. That is all we are. So all that we're trying to say, that in the book of Genesis, all that they attend, that in the garden there was a tree of life and the tree of good and evil. All these things are people. They are fruits. People who have, they are persons or people. Some have bear good fruits and others.
I wanted to chip in that the idea of something good and something bad is totally foreign to the energies. That's my little knowledge. In the sense that in the sight of the energies, there's nothing good, nothing bad. So it's human identity and humans' accumulations and also humans' prejudice that has created what it is to be good and what it is to be bad. Because per human's experience, they experience something and realize that this didn't go well for me, so this is good. or this didn't go well, this is bad, and this went well for me, this is good. I don't know. You
see, my brother, let me sum this thing up.
Mm.
In the book of Isaiah, the Creator said, I create good and I create evil.
In the book of Isaiah?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to secure the verse so that we can put it for our listeners. He said, He creates good and He creates evil. So the question is, where did the concept of the devil, Satan, and all these things came from? If He is the same person who can create evil, good, and create evil, then where from all these things? Then back to your question, back to your
So it's basically what I'm saying.
So
like,
with the energies,
there's nothing like good and
there's
evil.
nothing
Everything
like good
is.
and evil. And a clear example is the book of Job, or the book of Job.
Wait. What do you mean, Jobo?
The man in the Bible they call Job.
Yeah, but that is the name of the Bible. Says Job.
But my brother,
Or Job.
J-O-B is Job. How can that be a name of a person?
So that's not a name?
That's not his original name. His original name itself is Jobu.
I've seen another translation that calls the name Eyob. Iob.
That is the Greek. You see how they come all of this, but even the Ashkenazi Jews.
Yeah, that's actually a translation from the Ashkenazis.
Ashkenazi Jews, they give you, but if you go to the book of Job or the book of Job.
So where are you getting the name Jobo from?
It's because of the date is from the ever etymology. There's a story that our ancestors have hold it, or my ancestors or our foreparents have hold it for millions of years. I got it from my great-grandfather about how the names were changed.
Okay.
We'll come to that. So,
man, we don't have time. So many things to learn, guys. Okay.
So, when you go to the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 6.
Which is Jobo?
Which is Jobo.
What's the meaning of Jobo?
Jobo is someone, let's say twins, but somebody who is serving the energies. Like somebody whose parent is another form, who have gone to the energies to seek assistance in order to give birth. So depending on the energy you go to, different the type of names you have.
Oh, so this is in our language what we call bosomba. So it means that you were got from a particular energy. And once you come out of that energy, they give the name of the energy to you, and you literally become a priest to the energy because you came from the energy.
It's the same thing that happened to Samuel as we discussed the other time.
So wait. So now being told Jobo,
yes,
not Job, guys. Okay. So this Jobo came from an energy with the name Jobo.
Yes.
Meaning, this energy that had the name Jobo was also a powerful energy.
Yes, very powerful energy.
This energy is not Yahweh, which they corrupted to be Yahweh.
Yahweh.
I'm coming to a point.
Yes.
So it means that there's nothing like, because this is what everybody, there's nothing like a supreme energy that oversees all the energy aside the creator who created all things that nobody knows, nobody has seen, nobody has spoken to.
You really hit the hammer on the nail. You see, until we redefine the Eurocentric concept of God as people, we will keep playing their game, or we keep playing within their plan. Now, they said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and all blah, 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 blah. Elo, him, is ever Pilo.
Elo. But I thought it's Hebrew.
That is what they know, because the word Hebrew itself will go into into its origin, how it came about. So, as I was saying,
Elo.
Elo. Elohim means plural, gods.
Yeah, yeah.